Continuing the Maimer, וספרתם לכם, that the Rebbe said on Lag BaOmer, Tafshin Yud Aleph. Until now, we've been explaining the deeper meaning of Sfiras HaOmer. The purpose of Sfiras HaOmer is in order to get from Pesach, when the godly soul leaves Galus. Pesach is the time when the Jewish people were totally submerged in the 49 gates of impurity, and Hashem pulled us out, Mashcheni. From there, in order to get to Aviani HaMelech HaDarav, to be brought by the king into his own inner chambers, which is the revelation of Matan Torah, the giving of the Torah. In between, there has to first be Acharecha Narutza, the refinement and the transformation of the animal soul, because only by transforming the animal can we reach the ultimate of Matan Torah, of the Torah being given down here. And so the Rebbe explained that transformation has two aspects. There is lifting up the intellect of the animal soul, and then there's taking the emotions step by step and transforming them. But over there it's step by step. It has to be a full transformation, which has to be dealing with each aspect of the emotional attributes of the animal soul. And so the Rebbe explained how each one of the midas is included of all the other midas by giving an example from the midah of chesed, which is love and being pulled towards godliness, and how it expresses itself in each one of these 7 emotional attributes. And now the Rebbe says that since Zelu Mazeh Asalikim, in other words, because what we're doing now is we're refining the animal soul. So we just explained the attributes the way they are in godliness, which is what a person has to strive to. What are those midas that are in the negative sense that the person has to fix every day of Sfiras HaOmer and change it? We mentioned this earlier, that the concept of Zel Lu'uma Ze Asa Likim is that in our world, in this physical world, the reality is one thing, and that is godliness. That is the only reality that exists. Klippa, the definition of klippa is a shell, li'umazeh, the opposite of godliness. The definition of klippa is that which covers over godliness and doesn't allow the truth of godliness to be felt. When there is a feeling of I, when there is a feeling as if my existence is the real one and I don't feel the true existence that caused it to come into being, that's called klippa. Now because klippa isn't a real existence, and as it says in Kabbalah that therefore klippa is kikoif bifnei adam, like a monkey, imitating or mimicking a person. There's no reality over there. There's the reality, which is the person, and then there's the monkey that's just imitating, trying to copy that fact, trying to copy the person, which is where it's real. And in the same manner, klippa, so to speak, imitates, mimics godliness. And that's the way Hashem made it, and that's what we say as Zel Umma Ze Asalikim. There's Zeh, this, which is Kedusha, the reality, the pull towards the lakus, the realization of godliness, of the reality of the world. There's klippa that covers it over, which is the same idea, just in the opposite way. And therefore, in our animal soul, that's like an animal, which means it's focused on itself. It has its own attributes, which are the attributes of klippa. These we have to fix and transform them, change it to the same thing in Kedusha. So how does it express itself in klippa? We give the example once again from the midah of chesed, which is the first of the midas, and how it expresses itself in each of the 7 midas. Chesed, love, pull towards is the pull towards klippa, the pull towards things that aren't godliness, the pull towards fulfilling my own desires, doing what I want, being involved in the physical world. Chesed shebe chesed. Chesed shebe chesed means because the person feels a love for klippa. What does his love express itself? His love is pulled towards the physical and material desires of the world. It expresses itself in chesed. Because I love it, because I'm pulled towards it, that's why I go and want to do more and more of it. That's chesed shebechesed. Gvura shebechesed is the opposite. Not the yearning and the pull towards the material world, but the fact that because I want to be pulled towards the material world, I hate and I fight against. I despise anything that is trying to take me away from that. In the practical sense, when people come and they tell me, what's going on with you? How can you, who's a person, who's a Jew, who's connected to Hashem, how can you be so involved in the physical material world? It doesn't pass. It's not something which fits the greatness of a person, of a human being. You're behaving like an animal. He hates those people for trying to take him away from his physical desires. Tiferes shebechesed. Tiferes, we explained, means pride and excitement. In addition to the fact that he pulls himself, he's pulled towards the physical material world, he's excited about it. He's proud of it. This is what he talks about with pride and excitement. This is where he's all about. Not just he's pulled towards it, not just he hates that which takes him away from it, but he actually is excited and enjoys and takes pride in the fact that he's able to be connected and how much materialism he's able to get to. And then we go to the next step, which is Netzach Hoyd Yesod, meaning how it's brought from emotions leading towards the practical. Netzach. And Hoyd is when he doesn't feel on his own the pull towards physicality, he overcomes himself. He's victorious. He uses his power of Netzach, of victory, to actually go against and fight, overpower with a great amount of draw, that he overpowers himself in order to connect to material worlds. And even more than that, that's Hoyd shebechesed, that when people shame him and they say, how is it possible that a son of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov should be involved in animalistic things, should be involved in forbidden things even? He uses the Hoyd, he subdues the desire to listen to them, to say, no, I'm going to do it anyway, and to the extent of Yesod shebechesed, that even when he doesn't want to, even when he doesn't feel a pull towards the material world, he creates that connection. Yesod shebechesed creates that connection and love and pull towards the materialism, until from all of those it comes to Malchus shebechesed, from step to step, until actually thought, speech, and action being involved in the materialism of the world. That is in the negative. In the negative, the opposite of Kedusha is the fact that the person is pulled towards being involved and submerged in materialism. And the avodah of Sfirasayim is וספרתם לכם. Take those very same attributes of the animal soul. Take the fact that the animal soul pulls and wants to go towards itself. Use that to understand, no, who am I really? What's my real self? Is Kedusha. Elevate them and take step after step to refine and cause them to shine until, as a result, one reaches Haviyani Hamelech Hadorov is now able to get the Matan Torah, because since I transformed the animal soul, now there's the essence of Hashem, because it's the essence of Hashem which is revealed specifically in the physical and material world. By transforming and causing the physical and material world, the opposite of Kedusha, to shine, I'm now ready and prepared for Matan Torah, for coming into Hashem's inner chamber and having the revelation of the essence of Hashem. Now the Rebbe says, but what gives us the power? It's not an easy job. It's transformation. It's taking and working on each aspect and making it shine. In order to get there, we needed first Moshcheni. First there had to be the arousal from above. First there had to be Hashem waking us up. Hashem inspiring us, which that's by Yetzias Mitzrayim, when the King of all kings, Hashem himself, the very essence of Hashem, was revealed upon us in order to come and reveal us. And like we said, that Hashem himself came, not an angel, not a messenger, because any other level other than the essence of Hashem wouldn't have been able to take them out of such a deep level of being sunk into the 49 gates of impurity. Any other level of a spiritual level would have been pulled in to the impurity of Mitzrayim. It had to be the essence of Hashem. But it's that essence of Hashem that enables the person to go out of his mess and to go level by level and actually transform. And until, through this transformation, the person then is able to reach Atzmos. And that's the idea of Pesach being called Pesach, jumping over. That means that there's the level which is above the world, above the essence of the world, which is able to enable a person to reveal, to transform his midas of his nefesh habamis, and in that way to be connected to Hashem. Now let's just understand that idea before we go on, because now the Rebbe will explain that's why it says Shabbos. Let's look at us in our practical lives. The fact that a person has a pull towards the material world and towards materialism. I enjoy being able to show off who I am, that I'm I have even that tiferet shebechesed, that I enjoy being able to show off how good I am in the material world, how much money I can make, how much material objects I'm able to have in the world. Where does it come from? It comes from the nature that Hashem put into the person. We are physical people, and our reality is not godliness. How can I change that? How can I not only force myself to get out of it, but actually transform, use the feeling, use the pull of my animal soul, narutza, to cause even my godly soul to begin to run? That means going away and changing everything that I am and making it to become something else. How can I do that? In order to be able to do that, it's just like when someone is involved, someone is locked up in jail. Ein chavosh matir atzmai, a person that's locked in jail cannot get himself out of jail. In order to get out of prison, he needs someone else to pull him out. Why? Because you're locked up in jail. It's like the mashal the Alter Rebbe gives in Tanya, when a person is in the middle of Shmoneh Esrei, and he has bad thoughts, foreign thoughts. There's a very spiritual concept called using those same emotions that are there in my thoughts, the negative emotions, and using them for Kedusha. The Alter Rebbe says that's only if it's not you. When you're tied down below, when you're tied down to Klippa, to the essence of impurity, you can't go and suddenly pull yourself out and connect yourself to the holiness. You have to now first fight what you're tied down into. How does it change? When I have a level which is above me. Something that's above me. And that's always why for Chassidim, that's the idea of connecting to a Rebbe. Why do I need to connect to a Rebbe? Use yourself, connect yourself to Hashem. Because in order to get out of myself, I need something that's not just not me, but something that's totally above the limitations that I'm in to pull me out. And that's why it starts from Moshcheni. Then that gives me the power, not any spiritual powers, but the power of Atzmos, of the essence of Hashem, that enables me now to be able to go out and change and be in a different level. And that's why it says, Mimachras HaShabbos. Shabbos is the seventh day of the week. Shabbos fulfills the entire week. Shabbos completes the entire week. Shabbos is above the week. It's Kodesh, it's holy. Shabbos is a totally different day, a day that's above the week. We're different on Shabbos. Yet, Shabbos is still connected to time. It's the completion of the week. So although it's above the week, but it still comes as a continuation to all six, the seventh day. In order to be able to have the power for Sfiras Omer, we need to have Machras HaShabbos, the day after Shabbos. After Shabbos, the completion of time, and then I go to above time, above the limitations of time. That gives me the power to be able to refine and transform my animal soul. Mitzvah Hashem, next time, continue to understand this and how this connects to Lag BaOmer.